Welcome back to the Hammersmith DIY channel. My name is Wyatt Groth, and in today's product review video I'm going to be talking about our range of Cabriole legs. What we have here in front of me is a range of different Cabriole style legs we produce. Now when we talk about Cabriole legs, they reign under a couple of different names. Obviously one is Cabriole legs, the other one is what are called Queen Anne legs. And it refers to a style of provincial style furniture which was made well, it's still made today, but was certainly very popular back many years ago. And these are legs that we've been manufacturing at our factory in Adelaide, in Australia, for the past, well, I would estimate 30 to 40 years. It's been a long time that we've been producing these styles of legs, and over that period of time, we've seen sales go up and down, a bit of a flow as different styles of trends go along. So what we have here are two different ranges. We have what we call our Cabriole legs, which have what we refer to as wings on them, which when I talk about wings, what I'm actually referring to is this section on the bottom here, this sort of flared out section that we call a wing. And then we have our range of Cabriole legs which don't have any wings on them that you can see here. So I just wanted to very briefly talk to you today about what options are available in the different sizes we produce, and then also a couple of different timber options that we have. So let's get into it. So the Cabriole legs with wings that you see here come in a range of different sizes. Now I'll tell you how long we've been making these legs for, because we still talk about them in inches, an imperial term. So in inches, we're talking about 4.5 inch, 6 inch, 9 inch, 12 inch, 15 inch, and 29 inch. Now in terms of a metric measurement, the 4.5 inch is about 114 millimeters, the 6 inch is about 152 millimeters, the 9 inch 228 millimeters, the 12 inch 304 millimeters I think it was, the 15 inch is 388 millimeters, and then finally the big one, the 29 inch, is 736 millimeters. Now it's a bit weird that we would talk about them in that sort of terminology of inches, but it's just the way, when I first started in the business many years ago, it was always referred to in that terminology. So I've kind of, over time, not 100% remembered the metric one. I've talked more about the imperial measurement. But irrespective, look, you can check out these legs on our website, hammersmith.com.au, and in the links below we talk about different sizes, and I might be off by 1 or 2 millimeters, but broadly it's basically what you see there. The other thing we talk about with these legs is they are all manufactured, well, when I say all of them, these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here are manufactured in radiata pine. The little small one, we either make them in pine, sometimes we would produce it in rubber wood. This particular one is actually in rubber wood, but the reason they're made in pine is most of these legs tend to be painted rather than stained. But obviously you can stain the legs. They're a solid section of timber. The wings get glued on, but there's no finger joining or anything like that in the product. We do produce the 6 inch and the 9 inch Cabriole leg in the Victorian ash. I've got a couple of samples here to show you. So you can see here, this is a 6 and 9 inch, and if you compare it, I'll take the 6 one first, you can have a look at the two there. So the 6 inch there in the Victorian ash and the 6 inch there in the pine, and vice versa with the 9 inch there, the 9 inch leg in the pine and the 9 inch leg in the Vic ash. The reason you may want to go for a hardwood could be a couple of options. One, for example, if you're using it on a chair where you've got some extra stress with people sitting on it or being moved, maybe just from a strength point of view, you may feel more comfortable with going with the hardwood option. The other reason is the hardwood option may give you a better, from a staining point of view, if you wanted to put like a walnut stain or a teak stain or something like that on there, the hardwood one may come up a little bit better. But from a strength point of view, I'm confident in both these products that you're not going to have any issues, but obviously hardwood, going to cost you a little bit more, but is a harder timber, so it's going to be a bit more durable. We don't, with the taller legs like so, we don't make them in other timber options. There's just not enough sales to justify it, so we just stick with the one timber in the pine, which is where the bulk of the market is. So that's the Cabriole leg style with the wings on it. As I said, I should also point out with the actual manufacturing of these legs that we produce, as I said, we manufacture actually at our factory in Adelaide in Australia. It's probably a little bit hard for you to see here, but the leg itself is a square section of timber that then we actually these wings we glue to the actual leg, and so that we get a really nice extra joint or strength factor. It's probably a little hard for you to see, but you might be able to see a sort of discolorization in this circle. Well, that's actually a bit of hardwood dowel. So what we actually do is we drill a hole through the wing and into the leg. Then we then glue a piece of dowel, which helps, and then at the same time we put a bit of glue on the wing face itself to glue it to the leg. So we've got glue with the hardwood dowel, which forms a really strong bond, so that this wing section of the actual leg is firmly held to the leg itself. Normally what would end up happening with this type of leg, if you had a piece of furniture which sits on top like so, if you had a piece of board like so here where the wing sits on in the corner, you would then fix from underneath using, you drill a hole, fix with a couple of screws, and that would be how you actually fix this leg to the particular table or piece of furniture that you're building. So that's our range of winged Cabriole legs. Now I want to talk to you about the other styles we have which do not have the wings on it. So you would have seen what I just showed you before with how you may fix one of these legs to the underside of a top. The way these ones work is these would be more designed where the piece of furniture would actually be fixed into the side of the leg. So for example, if this was a leg on a table, you would have a couple of rails, a rail which would come off and be actually mounted to the side of there, and then another one would come off like so. And that's why these particular ones don't have a wing on them like these ones do, from a point of view of just the manufacturing process. So there's three different legs that we produce here. One we call our chair leg. We also have one here that we refer to as our hall table leg, and the bigger one here we talk about as our dining table leg. They're just names that we give them. Just because we call this a chair leg doesn't mean it can't be used for some other application. It's just kind of a name which refers to the size. So this particular leg is about 440 mil in length. You can see here it's got quite a nice look and the way it's been machined. A little bit different to the wing ones, which, as you can see here with these particular wing ones, this is more of a round profile. Whereas the chair one here is kind of four sides, which just has the edges slightly rounded over. So a slightly different look. This particular leg is only made in the one species, which is Victorian ash. We deliberately produce this in a hardwood like Vic ash because if it is going to be used on a chair, which gets a lot more stress on it than what just a table would, we feel like by making it a hardwood, you're just going to have less issues with potentially breaking, particularly around down this point here, which is obviously the thin section of the leg. Then you get into the hall and dining table leg, and both of these legs are longer. You're talking around about 730 mil in length. Basically, the difference between the two is just the sizing. So you can see here, if you look down the particular legs, obviously the hall table leg is a much slimmer version of what the dining table leg is. So once again, we talk about it from the point of view of this being a hall table, this being a dining table, but it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. You can obviously use it. I mean, just because I call this a hall table leg, you could use this on a dining table or perhaps a smaller table, and vice versa. There's nothing stopping you from using this on any sort of table. But same thing with this particular style Cabriole leg. There's more defined sides, which are slightly pencil rounded over. It's not until you get to the bottom of the leg that it becomes a bit more rounded. But like with this leg, you've got some flat sections to work on here for rails to come off of. Same with the dining table, it's exactly the same scenario. And this particular dining table leg, it's quite a big, chunky product. You imagine this would look pretty good on a nice dining table that you might be making and wanting to create some sort of Queen Anne style or piece of furniture. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button below, and also feel free to drop me a comment, as I'm happy to answer any of the questions you may have. Also, remember to subscribe to our channel by clicking the button below and turn that bell notification on so that you keep up to date with all the greatest videos that we release. This is Wyatt Groth, signing off.